Make your way into a seated position, Virasana. Close your eyes for a moment. Allow yourself to create that space of curiosity and that space of creation. Allow yourself with your eyes closed to check in with your physical body. How do I feel today? Letting off any expectations. Allow yourself to be playful. Allow yourself to be curious. Allow yourself to maybe try something new, something different today. Open your eyes. Press your shins into the ground. Come into tabletop position. Separate your fingertips very wide. Place your hands onto the ground, connecting to the ground, connecting to your foundation. So circle your shoulders over your wrists, clockwise, anti-clockwise. Up the wrists, warming up your foundation. Whenever your hands are on the ground, they kind of become your feet. And then rotate your fingertips externally halfway, 45 degrees. Keep circling your shoulders over your wrists. Rotate your fingertips all the way towards your knees. External rotation. Tuck your toes, bring your hips back towards your heels, and gently stretching your forearms. And then rotate your hands internally, so all the way, just to warm up the forearms from different directions, and then bring your hips back towards your heels. So couple of rounds like that. Bring your hands back to a neutral position, shake them out. Come into tabletop position. So we will focus on our shoulders. Shoulders are doing two different actions. Shoulder protraction, so we are separating our shoulder blades. Shoulder blades are moving away from the spine. And then shoulder retraction, so your shoulder blades are moving towards the spine. Find your long spine. Bring your hips back towards your heels, back into that seated position. Extend your arms in front of you. Flex your palms so like you are pressing your hands into the ground, like we just did before. And then from here, creating that shoulder protraction. So separating your shoulder blades and then shoulder retraction. Bring your shoulder blades together. Let's do it once again. Shoulder protraction, shoulder retraction. Find your long spine. So neutral position. Place your hands onto the ground, back into tabletop position. Step your feet back into plank pose. So now we'll do the same action in a plank pose. So shoulder protraction, spreading your shoulder blades. And then the opposite, shoulder retraction, sinking between the shoulder blades. So let's do it once again. Shoulder protraction, pushing the ground away. And then sink your spine, your shoulder blades between your upper arms. Let's do it once again. Shoulder protraction. In niches, we need to engage that core, and then shoulder retraction. Find your long spine, tabletop position. Lower your knees onto the ground. Pause for a moment. And then come back into your tabletop. Circle your shoulders over your wrists, like we did before in the tabletop position, clockwise, anti-clockwise. Rotate your fingertips to the outer edges of the mat if you have a mat, otherwise 45 degrees. Rotate your fingertips all the way towards your feet. Shift your weight into the heels of your hands and into the balls of your feet. Shifting your weight back and forth, and then lift your hips, downward facing dog position. Inhale, come back into that plank pose, and as you exhale, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, find your plank pose. Bring your hands back to your neutral position. Lift your hips, downward facing dog. So you can inhale, let it out. From downward facing dog, shift your weight into high plank, lower down, low plank. Push back up, high plank. Exhale, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Let's do it once again. Inhale, high plank. Lower down, low plank. Push back up, high plank. Lift your hips, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, lower your forearms onto the ground into dolphin. And lift your elbows off the ground. Downward facing dog. Let's do it once again. Lower your forearms, dolphin. Lift your elbows, downward facing dog. Combining those things. Lower your forearms, dolphin. Lift back up, downward facing dog. Shift your weight into your plank. Lower down, low plank. Push back up, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. So this time, lower your forearms onto the ground. Transition into low plank, chaturanga. Push back up, high plank. Exhale, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Let's do it once again. Lower your forearms, dolphin. Chaturanga. push back up, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Reversing the movement. Inhale, plank. Lower down, low plank. Push back, dolphin. Lift your elbows, downward facing dog. Let's do it once again. Inhale, plank. Lower down, low plank. Push back, dolphin. Lift your elbows, downward facing dog. Take an inhale. Let it out. From downward facing dog position, lower your knees onto the ground. Bring your hips back towards your heels. Bring your hands slightly behind your knees. So now we will do the same action we did with our shoulder plates. Placing your hands onto the ground. Inhale here. As you exhale, think about that shoulder protraction. Spreading your shoulder blades, lift your knees off the ground. Bring your knees toward your chest. Lower your knees onto the ground. Rest for a moment. We'll do it once again. Maybe shake it out. Place your hands onto the ground. Inhale here. As you exhale, shoulder protraction. Bring your knees toward your chest. Maybe lifting one foot, maybe both feet. And slow it down. Okay. Shake it out. Bring your hips to one side. Extend your legs in front of you. Flex your feet, reach your arms towards the sky. Inhale. As you exhale, fold over your legs. So lengthening the backs of the legs. On your inhale, come all the way back up. Bring your hands slightly in front of your hips. So we'll do the same action. Inhale here. As you exhale, think about that shoulder protraction. Lift your hips off the ground. Holding here. And slow it down. Okay, shake it out. We'll do it once again. Inhale here. As you exhale, shoulder protraction. Lift your hips. Lift one leg, maybe both legs. Hold. And slow it down. Shake it out. We'll do it once again. Place your hands onto the ground. Inhale here. And as you exhale, lift your hips. Lift one leg, maybe both legs. And slow it down. Well done. Shake it out. From here, lift your legs into Navasana, boat pose. So stabilizing that center that we need to stabilize before we go into any kind of inversion. Exhale, lower down, low boat. Inhale, come back up, high boat. As you exhale, lower down, low boat. Stay in this low boat. Reach your fingertips towards your heels. This time, reach your arms over your head. Holding this. Yeah, this is that action in your core, in your center, engaging your inner thighs. One more breath. Reach your fingertips towards your heels, towards your feet. Come back up into high boat. Cross your ankles. Bring your hands towards the ground. Think about that shoulder protraction and knees to chest like we did before. And then step back into high plank. Lower down, low plank. This time, flip your toes. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, lift your hips, downward facing dog position. Take an inhale. Let it out. From downward facing dog, lower your knees onto the ground. Walk your hands into Anahata Asana, puppy dog stretch. So we are opening the upper back a little bit more, a little bit of active rest. Keeping your forearms on the ground, slide yourself onto your front. Untuck your toes, Sphinx position. Bring your elbows to the sides, interlace your hands behind your back. Locust pose. Stabilizing that center from all directions. Let go of your interlace. Bring your arms in line with your shoulders, like capital T shape. And then reach your arms in front of you, like we did before, just lying on your front. And then reach your fingertips towards your heels, bend your knees. Reach towards your ankles, Dhanurasana. Press your shins into your hands. Opening the upper back, opening the shoulders. Let go of your ankles. Inhale, upward facing dog. Tuck your toes. Lower down, low plank. Push back up, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take an inhale. Let it out. From downward facing dog, we will move against the wall. We will build strength and flexibility. We need both of that to create stability. So from here, coming up into a standing position. So the distance away from the wall is roughly one leg length. So you can measure it like that. And then facing the wall, place your hands onto the ground. So this is your foundation, and then walk your feet up the wall. So you're creating an L shape. L shape, which means your heels are in line with your hips. Aligning your shoulders above your wrists. So holding this for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And coming out. Rest for a moment, maybe shake it out. We'll do the same thing just on our forearms like we are doing dolphin. So placing your forearms onto the ground, step your feet against the wall, creating that L shape. Maybe you might need to adjust, the distance. You want to align your hips above your shoulders. Holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming out, shake it out. Okay, we'll do it once again with a little bit more challenge. So place your hands onto the ground, come back into that L shape onto your hands. And then lift one leg up towards the sky. One leg up and bring the opposite foot just lightly touching the wall. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Replace, change to the other side. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then coming out, shake it out. You know what is coming? We'll do the same thing just on our forearms. So place your forearms onto the ground. Walk your feet up the wall. Once again, readjust so it should feel stable in your foundation. And then lift one leg up towards the sky. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Change to the other side. Lift the opposite leg for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming out. Rest for a moment. Shake it out. From here, we will go back into that handstand. Maybe lifting both legs up. So do not rush. So what we will do now is we will do handstand and then changing and switching the legs. So you will try to bring both legs together and then switching the leg. Both legs together, switching the leg. Both legs together, switching the leg. Let's try that. So place your hands onto the ground. Walk your feet up the wall. Lift one leg up towards the sky. Bring the opposite leg just very lightly touching the wall. Stabilizing that. Maybe bringing both feet together. And switching the leg. Both feet together. Switching the leg. Both feet together. Switching the leg. Two more times. So 2 more times in your own time. Maybe, slowing down that transition. So do not rush. Really stabilizing first. And then you can switch the leg. Whenever you're done, shake it out. You know what is coming. So now bring your forearms onto the ground. We'll do the same thing on your forearms. Walking your feet up the wall. Bring one leg towards the sky. Bring the opposite foot and just lightly touching the wall. And then maybe bringing both legs together. Switch the leg. As lightly as possible. As controlled as possible. Switch the leg. Last one. Switch the leg. And then coming out. Take your time, no rush. I'll give you a couple of moments to play and explore. How does it feel? Do I feel stable? Am I rushing? Am I forcing? So really slowing down and playing with control. And then from here, coming down, coming into camel prep. So now we are adding a little bit of back bend to this. So press your shins into the ground, bring your right hand towards your right ankle, lift your hips, lift your chest, and exhale, lower down. Change to the other side, left hand towards your left ankle, lift your hips, lift your chest, and exhale, lower down. Bring both hands towards your ankles, camel pose. You can tuck your toes, lift your hips, lift your chest. And exhale, bring your hips back towards your heels. Pause here for a moment. So to open that thoracic spine, the upper back, we will use a wall. So what we will do is we will sit on the wall. So now facing the opposite way, facing away from the wall, placing your hands onto the ground, kick up into your handstand, and then bring your hips against the wall. Extend your legs, and then hold this for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and coming out. Maybe shake it out, rest for a moment. You know what is coming, bringing your forearms onto the ground. Kicking up. Bring your hips against the wall and bring your chest through your upper arms. If you notice you're a little bit too far from the wall, adjust. Yes, you are almost touching the wall with your fingertips. This is roughly the distance. Holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming out. Rest for a moment, shake it out. So now I will show you options to work on your scorpion with the wall. So placing your hands, and you are facing the wall. So you place your hands roughly one shin distance from the wall. So you might need and want to readjust in the process. I will show you against the wall so you can see, but you can practice that against the wall. So placing your hands onto the ground, kicking up into a handstand, stabilizing that. Then you bend your knees, bring your feet against the wall. Bring your ribs in. And then you flip one foot, so your foot is sliding the wall. At the same time, you bring your chest through your upper arms. Chest through your upper arms, your feet, or one foot at a time, sliding the wall. And then coming out. Beautiful. Shake it out. And then one more play with your forearm balance, Pincha Mayurasana. You can interlace your fingers, it feels a little bit more stable. Kicking up. And you can do the same thing. So bend your knees, bring your chest through your upper arms. For scorpion, and maybe you transition into a back bend. Coming out. Close your eyes for a moment, allow yourself to be still, allow yourself to reconnect, allow yourself to once again let go of any expectations. Open your eyes, we are adding final twist. So come into a standing position, bind behind your right leg, relax your head, relax your neck. Change to the other side. Let go of your buns. Allow yourself to give yourself a clap for showing up, for being playful, for being curious, for trying something new, something different. I will see you next time.